tonight?
Well, you know what? From the outside, for me, two of the teams that I would have watched play the most are the Panthers and the Lightning, just because it's exciting. I think it's the best the NHL, a lot of ways, has to offer in terms of the game that can be played. There's really skilled players, lots of speed, but also physicality, all the great things in the game we should see in the game tonight. So these are the games that I enjoyed watching the most.
Go ahead. We talked about the penalty kills. Been doing good here earlier. Is this kind of the ultimate test tonight for the PK?
Yeah, there'll be just so from recent memory from the playoff series, right? We want to get our power play going, and we want to make sure our penalty kill's strong. And they've been dynamic on their power play as they have been for years, and that's not going to change, right? You've got two elite flanks on there, and so good at it in the bumper. They just got 5 very, very skilled players. So we just stay out of the box, and that would be especially true early in the year. You just seem to see bigger numbers, right? The game's called, I don't know if the game's called a little tighter, but the players always make the adjustment and figure out what they're looking for. And so we got to stay out of the box for sure, but we want the test, right? That's the whole point of this. We want to have them run their A power play unit and do our best to kill it.
Is Brandon Montour back in tonight?
Yeah, no, he's back yet.
Who's coming out?
Carlson.
In terms of like testing things out based off, like you said, you watched them a lot last year, and the playoff series was a big reason why a lot of changes were made around here. So now you get to test, what you've been trying to introduce to the team against the team that really, led to those changes happening tonight.
So you go back 2 years ago, and I thought Florida was outstanding in that playoff series, and would have watched it last year and thought they really did a marvelous job against Tampa, and that's how tight those series are. So we've got a bunch of new players, and we got a bunch of new systems, but that wouldn't have been the reason for the end of it. It wasn't a systems issue, right? They're still a really, really good team. Okay. So we want to test our game where it's at right now against their game with where it's at right now. And the idea of statement games, statement games are all played in the playoffs, right? The statement games of where who's healthy on your team, who's healthy on their team, and who can come up with the most energy on a regular season game. So, but I'm looking forward to it. It should be exciting.
And goalie tonight?
Yeah, Bob's going. It's 2 in a row for you guys. I'm banking them now. I'm just banking them now. So later we can. Yeah.
Eric Staal obviously got a bit reception on the ice out there.
Yeah.
Are you happy to be able to actually put him in the lineup now and see him out there after a good camp?
Yeah, he's had a really strong camp, and to his credit, I think he might have come to camp in the best shape of his life. And there is so much to this man and personality that you'll all get to see when you spend some time with him. Character, leadership, the love of the game, pure love of the game, and the love of the idea of winning. I think he's great for, it's a still relatively young core here, and having a veteran guy like that. But it's not just the veteranness, it's who he is as a man, how he trains, how he competes, how he practices, how he chirps out there, how he's just wired right in. I think he just makes our organization better.
Is he going to be out there tonight?
He will not play tonight, no.
There was no guarantees that space was going to open up for him. So what does it say about him that he was sticking around, skating as a non-roster guy?
No, there were no guarantees. And we had a conversation. So I had Eric back in Carolina when he started his career, and that conversation happened early in the summer. But it wasn't me, it wasn't me telling Eric, I don't know if it's a spot. He's going to say, listen, I'm going to come in and go as hard as I can, and if it's not there, just tell me. Like he's as honest as he is tall. He is truly an easy man to work with because there's no agenda. He just wants to win, and he wants to play here. And if he didn't feel he could help, he wouldn't. He surprised me in camp, quite honestly, to the point that he earned the contract as an NHL player. He was far more dynamic than I thought he would be.
What surprised you the most?
With the amount of time he's got in the NHL, part of the Triple Gold Club, all the goals he scored, the Stanley Cup, all of it, there's absolutely no ego in the man. But I can't say that I'm surprised by it because that's the way he always was. But all of these great players, when they get a little older, ego still drives them. But Eric, it's not ego. It's about winning, and it's about hockey, the pure love of the game. So he's here. I said to him, we were talking in the summer about what can I do to put you in the best position to give you an honest shot to make the team? And he said, I'm not here to make the team. I'm here to win the Stanley Cup. And that is kind of, it's team first with him. It's a real pleasure to be around.
When you have him now. Just how much has he progressed, not as a hockey player, but just as a person?
Oh boy, that's a longer answer, right? But a big chunk of Eric Staal's personality is exactly the same as it was when he was 18, and there's the inner strength. Like he's matured, he's aged through experiences, through life experiences. Eric was like most young players, gifted young players. You could see him do things at 18 and 19 that he'd almost pull off, but he just wasn't physically strong enough yet, or he wasn't fast enough, and you'd say in 2 years he's going to do that. And he did, right? He had this wonderful career. And then he learned how to get hard. And right around the time that Carolina had its good run, he took over, right? And he learned how to play the game a hard way. So there's lots of very skilled men out there that never actually get involved with the hard parts of the game. Right, they put up points, they play on the perimeter, they're very good players, but he changed that. He changed his on-ice game more than his off-ice personality.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank
Thank you.